People who made an impulse decision when they found out Hawaii was going to be nuked. What did you do and do you regret it? My 70-year-old dad ate 2 loaves of bread while hiding in his closet. He said he only regrets it because he has to buy more bread now. This man was gonna die crammed full of bread. I can't stop laughing. We made lots of jokes at work last night that a lot of children will probably be born in 9 months. Baby boomers lol. I'm not sure I'd be able to get hard knowing that I was about to get nuked. I'm pretty sure that I would have the largest erection of my life. Still pretty small. I live pretty close to town center, so for me I looked at my girlfriend and said I love you and I hope it's fast. Sat in bed with her looking at pictures of our trip we took to Big Island and just was with her. The weirdest part is basically just living today. Yesterday I fully accepted I was gonna die, so it's weird for having to just live with the idea that I didn't. It's good, Nate. You've seen the worst, and now you can take stock of what is really important and adjust your life accordingly. I have a favorite cup that I use all the time. One day, I will drop it, and it will break. This is the inevitable end for a cup, but I will still be devastated that it broke. I will curse myself for not being more careful as I pick up the pieces. But if I accept now that the cup is already broken, then every moment with it is precious. Now I want to hug a cup. I think the good answers will be in a few years, when the ones who actually made life-altering decisions will leave their bunkers. Blast from the past to Maui Wowie to Maui to Wowie. This didn't happen to me, but my friend, who is currently visiting his grandfather on the Big Island, told me that right after he received the first alert to seek immediate shelter, he went down a couple homes to where the Clintons were staying to ask the Secret Service guys what was going on. Apparently they were all in gas masks and ready to go. My friend, before receiving the false alarm alert, said he made a mimosa, said goodbye to his family, and planned to go sit on the beach to watch, as he described it, the fireworks. All I regret is filling my emergency water containers right behind the car. So now I'm blocked in the garage by 150 gallons of water. I can't stop laughing at this. Sorry man, but this is awesome. That's an awkward call to work come Monday morning. That's the most understandable reason for not coming into work in the universe. I didn't want my whole family to die when the government told us we were about to experience a nuclear holocaust. So I need the day to undo my preparations. Yeah, I can't come in today. I have a bunch of TVs and stuff I have to return to my neighbors. I got drunk for the first time in 4 years of sobriety. Oops, can't even fault you for this. If you're a recovering alcoholic though, maybe talk to your sponsor, if you have one, or a counselor. There's no reason for this dumb shit to ruin 4 years of hard work. I'm proud of you. I was at work here on Maui. My wife was at home with the kids and I called them to calm them down. Once I realized they were all together, I went to the 3rd floor of a building with some co-workers and waited for the big bang or whatever was to come. I told my big Samoan boss that we should just hug, this way they would find us frozen in time like the folks they found in Pompeii after Mount Vesuvius things. We're a little awkward the rest of the day. So how long were you all hugging for? They haven't stopped. His boss still doesn't know it was a false report. I ate all the leftover lasagna in my fridge. I figured that if shit's about to hit the fan, I better carb TF up. BTW living on Big Island. Most rational response yet. Leave no carbs behind. Hawaii resident here. While I didn't make the impulse decision, the people around me did. I was sleeping when the announcement came out, and the others in my house didn't decide to wake me up. They said if I was gonna die, might as well let me die in my sleep. Late to respond here, but I'll throw mine in. I work at a huge tourist location on Oahu. Pretty quickly after the alert went out, we started herding all of our guests into large buses and moving them to a huge WW2 bunker we have on property. In the middle of directing guests on where to go, I realized I hadn't clocked in yet, and decided that if I was going to die in a thermonuclear detonation, I might as well be getting paid for it. I clocked in, then hopped a small bus with a few of my friends / workmates and headed toward the bunker. Once we got there, we decided that we really didn't want to die in concrete caves surrounded by people we really didn't like. So we just kept driving to the other side of the property and hung out in the back of a big ass valley for a few hours. So, I guess the impulsive thing I did was purposely avoid shelter and instead go somewhere beautiful. Quick, head to the bunker. Dave is in there. He's an asshole. Okay, let's go to an open valley and die instead. I woke up to people calling me about the alert, looked at my phone and read the message. I started searching the internet for answers, and there was zero coverage, which made me even more scared because I thought it was some kind of government conspiracy to not let the rest of the world know what was happening. I go to the Hawaii subreddit and everyone is saying they got the alert, but no info on whether the threat is real. Thinking about my life, I started to feel content with my inevitable death. Then I imagined my last moments slowly burning in intense pain. That thought was followed by a minor anxiety attack and involuntary shaking for the next 30 minutes. I was in a hostel and I'm a male and all of the other people in the hostel room I was in were women the same age as me. We all got the text at once and looked at each other. I knew what I had to do. Awkwardly comfort them with jokes while they cried. Not very romantic. I'm stationed in Hawaii. Woke up to the message. Audibly said fuck. I grabbed my med bag and got out of my room to see if anyone on duty knew what was going on. Saw everyone on barracks duty was knocking on the doors and directing people to the battalion aid station, which is one of the designated bomb shelters. I knew the doors were locked and I was the only one who knew the code who was there, so I unlocked them and opened it for everyone to get inside. Once inside, more and more people came in. Compared to the rest of the island, it was pretty calm. Civilians and people from other units were just sitting on the floor chatting. I called up my mom and sister and told them what was happening and, if anything happens, to know that I signed up for this and that I love them. As I walked through trying to prep everything for the impending missile, I accepted I was probably going to die, but I would make an effort to survive. Eventually somebody came by and told us it was a false alarm. Then I went kayaking. No regrets. I was in my living room sitting next to my husband and sleeping 2-month-old. Saw the alert on my phone. We grabbed the baby and his pacifier and went and sat in the bathroom. I started calling people who work on base to see if they knew anything. My husband was checking Twitter. Saw something about it being fake. Went back out to the living room to check the local news. Saw the alert there. Went back to the bathroom. The siren started going off and I sat there holding my 2-month-old baby crying, thinking we were going to die and I had no way to protect him. Got the false alarm message and husband took the baby back out to the living room while I cried for a little while longer in the bathroom. Went to Hanako to dive. Figured 100 foot underwater was as good a place as any. No boom. Rolled out of bed and told my boyfriend, well, how about I make us one last cup of coffee before we die? Then proceeded to the kitchen to brew a small pot. All I wanted was one last time to do one of my favorite things. Sit and talk stories with him with coffee and cigarettes in the morning. Maybe it wasn't so impulsive, but there was something about it being the last time to ever do that. I live in Hawaii. Honestly, I'm one of the only ones who didn't freak out. I was in the office working on some data input stuff and I figured that either there's nothing I can do about a freaking nuclear missile exploding right in my face, or we've got some system in place to knock it out of the sky before it even hits. Again, nothing I can do, but I'll live. Either way, nothing will change for me. So I continued working. Unlike my manager, he stripped off his clothes and started jacking off on the CEO's desk right in front of the CEO as he was on the phone with his wife. I don't know whether the CEO was more shocked by the manager jacking it on his desk or the incoming nuclear missile. Either way, I was almost done with my spreadsheet, so I tried to focus on work. 30 minutes later, the news broke out that it was in error. Fucking awkward. The jack-off manager got fired and I got temporarily promoted to his position until they either make it official or find someone more suitable. I hope I never have to repeat this story in real life in any of my future job interviews when they ask me about past work and managerial experience. I felt like this alert showed me that I can keep calm and that I'm a bit apathetic towards death, and I'm pretty proud of myself. I texted my mother, I need to tell you I love you. In case everything goes wrong, please tell everyone I love them and I've had a wonderful life. I'm very happy. She called me in a panic and I told her I loved her. She asked me if I was going to leave and I told her I was going to stay with my husband no matter what. I ended the call because I didn't want her to hear me die if it did happen. Then I kissed my husband and we held each other on the couch. It was a good day. I had no idea what to do, so I got freaky with my wife while smearing birthday cake all over her body. I had to get a plan B today but they were all out. In Marines, woke my bunkmate up, said, "There's a missile incoming. This isn't a joke." He's ALCPL and said, "They'll shoot it down," and immediately went back to sleep. Embrace the suck. Got up from the breakfast table. My wife and 2 kids were with me. Ran out the door. Awkward coming home later that day. Bought a ticket to California and still went. Were you thinking that you'd be able to board a plane and take off in the 15 minutes before a missile hit? If the pilot has any sense of self-preservation, yeah. Cleared out the fridge and hid in it for 6 hours. Got the alert with 2% battery, so had no idea it was fake. Did you unplug the fridge or was it really cold? I don't know why but this has got to be the funniest thing I've read in a while. I told my GF not to worry about it and go back to sleep. Her mom called her not even a minute later crying telling her to wake up and that she was rushing home now. She thought I wasn't scared but if it were real we wouldn't be able to do anything about it so I just wanted her to be in my arms for our last moments. My best friend is vacationing there. She crawled into bed with her 3 and 5-year-old daughters and held them while accepting that they were going to die. Her husband called from a fishing boat trip to say he loved them and wished he was with them. Currently in Kayla on the island of Oahu. When my wife and I got the message, we were in bed. She asked me to make scrambled eggs with sausage toast and avocado. So I went downstairs and made breakfast as fast and best I could. Gave my pup some tea cause he's going to dine like a king if it's really his last meal. After the false alarm, we made an appointment at an ultrasound office to see our unborn daughter. Life is precious. Had an impulse panic attack. 195 out of 100 wouldn't recommend. I swallowed a bunch of popcorn seeds lol. I thought it would be hella funny if people found a bunch of popcorn around my burnt ass body. My grandma told us she bought MREs on Amazon when she got the alert. We had to actually explain to her how that wouldn't have helped. I came out on social media. I don't completely regret it, but I have definitely lost some friends, and a lot of my relationships with my friends have become really awkward. Started downloading torrents without a VPN. Fuck it, I lived a little. I live on Oahu. I broke the window to the empty beach house that is my neighbor to get some alcohol. Took a bottle of vodka and mixed with my orange juice. I don't really regret it. I don't think they would blame me. I won't be saying anything, just leave it and they will think it was kids messing around. Officially a criminal now. I just smoked a joint with my dad, and we both said one for the last time. We were silent for most of the time. After we realized it's not happening, we started crying and laughing and hugging each other. I did some drugs, and then I found out that there was a no drill missile alert, so I finished them. Then I was paranoid the entire time. Had pre-nuke 6, no regrets, tried to time it with the flash. Everyone came, except the flash.